He asks you, what do you want to do? You decide, I want to start making videos. And then y'all, like a month later, Oprah's like, oh, we want you to try out for this show.
This episode features an interview with Kristina Kuzmic, otherwise known as the Truth Bomb Mom. She is a parenting blogger and vlogger whose humorous parenting videos have become an internet sensation, gaining over 500 million views across media outlets and websites worldwide. She has over 1.5 million Facebook followers, and her videos have received praise from the Huffington Post, The Inquisitor, People Magazine, Cosmopolitan, Us Weekly, Yahoo, and many more. In just a few years, Kuzmic has become a world-renowned social media influencer and motivational speaker and comedian. Her whirlwind started in 2011 when the mother of three was chosen from 20,000 applicants and crowned the winner of Mark Burnett's reality TV competition called Oprah's Search for the Next TV Star. Her subsequent talk show, The Ambush Cook, aired on the Oprah Winfrey Network. The show was canceled after one season, and she went back to making her own videos. After multiple viral videos in 2016, she landed a distribution partnership with littlethings.com. If you are a working parent or a mompreneur, or if you are a video creator or a writer or a comedian, you will love this interview with Kristina Kuzmic.
Thank you for joining me for another episode of The Pursuit. I'm Kelsey Humphreys here with Kristina Kuzmic, which we're in the infamous kitchen. I was just telling her, I want you to sit here because this is where you stood when you did the famous breastfeeding video. So if you guys don't know, then you're probably not a parent or a mom because you would have seen her. Tell me, you have 200 million views, is that right, of all of your
You know what,
videos?
somebody just told me recently that it's getting close to 500 million.
Oh my goodness.
Which I can't even understand those, it's just crazy. I can't
And
even
you have over 1 million Facebook fans now.
Yes.
I mean, she's just got an amazing personal brand, and I kind of want to walk through your story. Let's go back to the beginning. So you're originally from Croatia.
Yes.
And then you came here, and then, life happens. You have a divorce. Everything's falling apart. You are on welfare with your 2 kids, can barely pay your bills, which she talks about in her videos, which are super inspiring. You've made me both laugh and cry in your videos. And so then you get, you meet your husband, that your now husband. You're kind of in a better state, and he asks you, what do you want to do? You decide, I want to start making videos. And then y'all, like a month later, Oprah's like, oh, we want you to try out for this show, which is incredible. So I want you to I think the great thing you could tell people is that, you got in that competition, there was 20,000 people, right? You win, and then it's go time.
Yeah.
So what's your advice for someone who gets the big break? I mean, that's the big break everyone talks about. You got it.
Yeah.
So, and then you capitalize on that because you're still going years later, which is the key. That doesn't really happen for most people. So when someone gets that huge opportunity, what's your advice for them on capitalizing?
Well, I actually made a huge mistake, which is why, and by the way, it never goes this way when you make it, but mine went boom, is because I didn't stand up for myself enough. So what happened is Oprah loved who I was messy, I was imperfect, I was like a real mom and not trying to be this flawless thing. But then she was off filming her movie, and I got stuck with TV execs who tried to make me into somebody I wasn't. And I didn't feel like I could complain because, oh my gosh, I don't want to sound ungrateful. I'm so grateful. I just went from sleeping on a floor to winning. How dare I complain? Right. And so what I needed to learn is that standing up for yourself does not make you a bad person. You're not complaining. You can be grateful and stand up for yourself. Yeah. So we ended up doing a cooking show that really didn't reflect who I was. It did not reflect my crazy personality, and it didn't do well. And I'm actually thankful it didn't do well because I would probably still have to play that character. Yeah. So one thing I would tell people, when you get that break, make sure you're authentic, because I'm going to tell you, every time I wasn't authentic, I failed. Every single time I had success, it was because I was being authentic. So when that failed, not that a lot of people will be like, it didn't fail, it just, but it wasn't what I had wanted. I decided a few years later to take matters into my own hands and start creating my videos right here more like a hobby, just whatever. But I made myself a promise, I'm going to be me. I'm not going to care about anybody else's expectations. I'm not going to care about the negative comments. I'm not going to care who's trying to make me what or what they think my brand should be. I know me. I know my brand. I know my parenting style. I'm going to be me. And that's when things blew up. I mean, out of control, blew up.
So once you started making those videos, how long before the first one that went viral kind of exploded? Which was the breastfeeding one, the first one?
That was the first one that went crazy. So that was probably about a month later after I started making them. I woke up to my phone just blowing up all these texts. And I'm like, what's happening? And people were telling me that Ashton Kutcher had shared that video. And it was because his wife had just had their baby and was breastfeeding. And I'm like, what? And then I just continued. This is the other thing I would tell people. You can't give up. It's all about consistency. People put out, 3 videos, and if they don't do well, it's not my thing. Keep putting videos out. I've had so many videos that didn't do great, but then you have those few that go viral, and then all of a sudden People Magazine is calling. And, you know, so just if you find what you love, and it feels right in your soul, you know what I'm talking about, where it's like, this is my calling. Stay consistent. Yeah. You cannot just give up. You just can't.
So again, that's just a month. How many videos had you made before the rest?
So at that point, the parenting ones I had made 4. That was my 4th one.
Okay, so tell us what went into that, because it looks like you're just off the cuff talking. Yeah. But you had decided, like, I'm going to make videos. I'm going to do this. Did you have a script? Did you have an outline? How do you do it?
So I usually just have kind of bullet points, kind of an outline, whatever. And then with that one, I actually have help now. But when I was doing those, I was doing it all on my own. So I had a camera. I did not know how to edit. And at the time, I had my 3rd child. So I would stay up late at night whenever he would wake up to breastfeed, which is funny because the video was breastfeeding. But at 2 a.m., and everybody else in the house is asleep, I would be breastfeeding and literally Googling how to edit videos. Like I was starting with nothing, which is another thing. You have to be willing to put in the work. I mean, I worked so hard at the beginning. And now I'm at a place a few years later where I do have help. So you will get there. I think a lot of people expect to get there right away. But I would have an outline. I would just sort of rant, and then I would edit it down to what I liked.
So when was that the breastfeeding one?
That was 2015, so 2 years ago.
Okay. And so then last year you partnered with Little Things.
Yes.
So what's interesting about this, for those of you that don't know, I mean, obviously once you start to have these videos that are exploding, people start coming to you like, make content for us, make content for us. So how did you choose them? What does that partnership look like? And then again, your advice for people who are getting, approached with that sort of partnership.
So I was approached by a lot of companies, and I kept saying no, because they wanted me to do specifically the topics they wanted. It was very, and I kept going back to that thing when I wasn't authentic, when I wasn't doing what feels in my gut that, the topics I need to cover, I failed, right? So I said, no. And then Little Things basically first said, why don't you make 6 videos for us and anything you want? I was like, really? They're going to let me do whatever? And what I loved is that every video I sent in, I was expecting them to email me back with notes, change that, take that line, nothing. They took it as is. So then they flew me to New York, and I literally sat with them, and I was like, can I make videos about anything? Can it be more than just about parenting? They were like, yeah, you do what feels right to you, the topics you want. So they've never edited me. They've never tried to change me. They never said, you're too loud, you're too this. They literally completely trusted me. And that's huge. I'm not saying you shouldn't learn and grow. I think that's important. I think you should always be learning and growing. But be authentic to who you are. The minute you start, changing yourself, and I need to speak more this way, and I need to, even like with my videos, I need to say that sentence in a more mature way or whatever. Or I need to look better for that video. I mean, the minute you start doing that to yourself, it's not going to do well because you're not being authentic. That is like literally the number. It doesn't sound like business advice, but it is my #1 business advice. Be authentic.
So how does that relationship work with them? Because I notice like sometimes you can post on your own page, but a lot of times it's on their page, which of course that's what a creator is worried about. Like, do I have to give up control? Which you said they let you have control. But then the other part is like, do I own this content? So how does that part work?
Coming up, don't miss her #1 piece of advice for achieving success. But first, I want to remind you that if you love these celebrity interviews, there are 3 ways you can support this show, this free show here on the internet, you guys. First, you can like this video and share it with your hustler and dreamer friends. Second, you can subscribe to the channel. And lastly, you can sign up to join Pursuit Nation.
When you do, I will give you my top 10 success hacks for real life. How do we take all the tactics in these interviews with millionaires and celebrities and actually apply them to pursuing our own dream? That's what I break down in this PDF. Get your free copy at thepursuit.tv/top10. So how does that relationship work with them? Because I notice like sometimes you can post on your own page, but a lot of times it's on their page, which of course that's what a creator is worried about. Like, do I have to give up control? Which you said they let you have control. But then the other part is like, do I own this content? So how does that part work?
So we both own it. I basically wanted, and that's the other thing, decide what you want and ask for it. I think people a lot of time when they get an offer, they're scared to ask for things. I'm going to give you a weird thing that somebody said to me once, but it really works. This sweet woman was driving me back from a speaking engagement to the airport, and it was right before a big meeting that I was having in New York, and I was all nervous, and I was telling her I was nervous, and she said, you know, when I immigrated to the U.S. from China, and she's now a successful businesswoman, and I was starting business, and I was all nervous, somebody said to me, when you go into that meeting, ask for more than you expect, like the white men do. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's kind of powerful.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Wow.
So I hate that I even have to think that way, but I literally will walk into a meeting pretending I am some 56-year-old white man in a suit, and you just speak differently. It's not, you know, like,
that's funny.
As women, a lot of times we get to, oh, I don't want to sound mean. I don't want to sound like I'm asking for too much. It's like, know what you're worth, know what you want. So, sorry, back to your question, but one of the things I said is, I have to have rights to my videos. I have to be able to post on my website, on my YouTube channel. I have to be able to post them on Facebook. You know, obviously I'm not going to create content for other companies that are competing with you. There's got to be some kind of, you know, fairness and rules. But I asked for what I needed. And then recently I asked for help. I said, you know, I've been editing and filming everything on my own. I need help. Don't be afraid to ask for those things. And I got help, and it's great.
I love it. Such good advice, especially when, you know, you kind of feel like, or you probably didn't, but I feel like once it's your first or second time you've been approached and you're like, you don't want them to say no, you don't want to scare them off, but you have to make it valuable for you as the creator.
Absolutely.
So I think that's great advice. How does that work now? Like, you were editing your own videos for a long time. So now how much content are you putting out? How much planning goes into it? How many people are involved?
So I used to do 6 videos a month, all completely on my own. And I basically called them, I was like, I'm going to burn out. So now I do 4 a month, and I have somebody that helps film it and edits it, but I have all the final say. So basically they will send me the first cut and I'll go change this, blah, 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 you know, and then that's it.
Wow.
So it's really helpful because I haven't had to edit the last few videos, which is really nice.
Yeah, I'm excited for the day when I'm not editing. I don't edit everything myself anymore, thank goodness.
Yeah.
But I still have to edit a lot, and it is not my favorite.
It's a lot of work.
I would much rather do content planning and writing and just be on camera. But, you know, eventually I will get to live the dream like you. But you are a mom of 3 kids, and obviously she has tons of great parenting advice and just very real. As you guys can tell, she's 100% authentic, like she said. And you're not sugarcoating things, and you're also saying like, hey, this is hard. My daughter's about to be 4. I mean, it's hard.
That's such a cutie.
Yeah, she's precious. She won't poop in the toilet yet, but she's precious.
I get it. My oldest one took forever.
Yeah. So tell us about your advice for moms, specifically mompreneurs or maybe mom creators, people who are, you know, there's a lot of moms doing MLMs. You know, they sell Scentsy or oils or whatever, network marketing. There's also just a lot of moms who are still in the corporate world working their way up. How do you find balance? How do you get over mom guilt?
Well, I really feel like balance is like a dirty, horrible cuss word. Because to me, balance implies that I am, you know, it's like when you're carrying plates and you're balancing them all. And in my life, one plate always falls and crashes. And you just have to be okay with it, you know? And so just today, when you walked in, we planned on shooting 2 videos. We barely finished 1. And it's like, I can sit here and be like, oh my gosh, I'm a loser. I didn't get it done, and beat myself up. Or what I often tell women is, would you talk that way to your best friend? Would, like, the person you love the most, would you talk to them that way? And you wouldn't. Right. So we're so abusive to ourselves, and we would never treat people or talk them the way we talk to ourselves. And that's really important when it comes to business, is that you are kinder to yourself, especially if you're trying to balance motherhood and business, and go, you know what? Today was just a good day. Tomorrow might be fantastic, and that's okay. Like, not every day is going to be great. You're not always going to accomplish everything. So just keep taking those baby steps and don't overwhelm yourself. And the other thing is just, I mean, again, I feel like we tend to feel like we have to do everything and we have to do it perfectly. And there are videos that I've submitted that I was like, it's not perfect, but you know what? It's good enough. I mean, we sort of have to accept that good enough attitude, and it's okay. And sorry, one more piece of advice.
Yeah.
I feel like for any mom or anybody, even if you're not a mom, who's doing a business, find the thing that really resonates about that thing with you. Because if it resonates with you, it's guaranteed to resonate with someone else. So instead of just, I'm selling lipstick and they're beautiful colors, what about the lipstick resonates with you? You got to put some heart into it. If business has no heart in it, it's not going to grow. It's got to have some heart in it. And I think people forget that aspect.
Speaking of heart, I feel like you are one of the creators that kind of wears your heart on your sleeves. I mean, you've told your whole story, and it makes amazing, compelling content. And you talk about your children, which is another one of those areas where people are like, should I, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
So how do you decide what to share and what not to share?
Well, I mean, I will share things that mostly affect me, and I'm going to pay the consequences or whatever, deal with the comments. When it comes to my kids, especially the older two are 14 and 12. The 3-year-old doesn't really have a say yet. But with the older ones, I'll say, can I share that story in the video? So I will give them permission to say no. So there's one video that went, I think that one has more views than any other video, where I talk about how all 3 kids are mad at me.
Yeah.
And I specifically asked them, it was a real day. All 3 kids were mad. All 3 kids got in trouble, and so they were mad at me. And I said, can I talk about this in the video? And basically we agreed that I couldn't say specifically what they did, which is why I just say they're mad at me. I don't say what,
Yeah.
But you will never hear me say anything negative about my ex-husband, because that's not fair to him. He's not making videos. He's not here to defend himself. And my children don't need to hear me badmouthing him. So I share a lot, but I'm very careful about it. Like, is this about me? Because if this is including somebody else who's going to in any way be painted in a negative light, then that's not my place. I don't feel right doing that. And I think that actually, I do get a lot of questions like, but why? Why did you leave your marriage? And why this and why that? And it's like, that's where I draw the line. Like, I'm going to be open up a lot, but you have to be respectful to other people in your life. Yeah. Don't try to grow your business by adding drama to other people's life. Like, make it about you.
Yeah. So, do you think you would ever go back to traditional TV? Is that something on the radar for you?
Well, what's crazy is I'm in talks for a few things right now. I mean, it's exciting. It's exciting, and things have blown up big, and honestly, just in the last month. But I'm at that point where I'm happy with what I'm doing, and I'm thinking very careful. Things I would have jumped on a year ago, I'm going, okay, can I do this and be a mom? Because I really do love being a mom, and I don't want to work 24/7.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to just figure out what works with my schedule.
Yeah. Are you still doing laundry and dishes and cooking? And
I do it all.
Really?
Right now. Yes.
I feel like maybe step 1 should be like outsource some.
No, I literally am like, I would love a full-time housekeeper and maybe a bartender and like a live-in therapist.
Oh, that's a good one.
Maybe a massage. You know what? Let's add massage therapist to the list.
Yes. I want a chef. I'm not good at cooking. You're good at cooking. I'm not. I want a chef.
But see, I have so much less time now. Yeah. I want it all.
Me too.
Who doesn't? Yes. I want to sit, love on my kids, and make videos, and never wash another thing. That's my dream.
Yes, washing. So one of the things, with all the videos, there are a lot of comments. I mean, I have a YouTube channel. I know how it goes. People you're putting your whole self there on the internet. Yeah. I mean, so how do you get over haters? How do you learn to let that roll off? I mean, I'm not going to lie. In the past, it used to bother me more than it does. I think with time, you get used to it. It's like the first negative comment I ever got. I was like, oh my gosh. And then you get 50 and you get used to it. And then you have 1,000 negative comments. You're like, just enough. If I go through a day and I don't see something negative, I'm like, what's wrong? What happened? Why doesn't anybody hate me today? But also, I've realized it's really not about me. They don't even know me. You know what I mean? And also, I don't expect everyone to like my videos. I mean, not everybody likes chocolate. That doesn't make chocolate horrible. I love chocolate. So it's you're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. So when you get negativity, either realize it's not, depending on what the negative comment is, it's not even, most of the time it's not even about you. They're having a bad day. They're jealous. They have issues. Who knows what happened in their day, and this is how they decided to vent. Or just accept that I'm not their cup of tea. And I'm not going to change for that one person. Right. I mean, that's the main thing. The bad thing is when you let those comments make you start changing things. I often get one of the most often comments I get is, your voice is obnoxious. So what I could do is talk quieter and nicer, but it wouldn't be me. Yeah, you have to be thinking about that.
Yes. Too many people change how they, you know, behave or how they run their business based on some negativity. And the truth is, different people are going to hate different things about you. So if you're trying to cater to everybody's expectation, you're going to lose your mind because you're going to have like 15 different personalities. So just stay true to yourself and just be like, I see you, I hear you, I'm not taking this to heart though.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, I know we have people watching who want to grow a YouTube channel, want to grow a presence, you know, maybe want to move into media as an expert because you're kind of now a parenting expert, so to speak. I would say you're an entertainer because I think you're hilarious.
I like that better. The parenting expert puts way too much pressure.
So what's your advice to those people who, I mean, you also have just a giant social media following that's really engaged, a great community. So what's your advice for those people who want to do what you've done in a, creating video content context?
Number one is consistency.
Okay.
I used to post videos just randomly when I felt like it. And then this is where little things actually came in really handy because they were like, no, we need this many a month. And I was like, oh, shoot. So now I have to turn in a certain amount. But that's huge. Consistency is everything. And then I don't care what your business is. With Facebook Live, that's like one of the greatest gifts. I used to not take advantage of it all. But people want that connection. Everybody wants that connection, whatever the business is. Take advantage of all these new things that are coming out. And again, think about whatever resonates with you is going to resonate with other people. So don't try to make it perfect. Don't try to, don't try to be here. I'm here and I'm going to tell you all people how to do it. All the stuff that really thrives for me is when it's like, no, I'm with you. I'm holding your hand. We're in this together. And it doesn't matter whether it's parenting or whether you're selling Tupperware. Don't think you're more important than you are.
Yeah.
Because your videos are going to do better if people feel like you understand them.
Yeah, so great. I love that. Well, looking back over this crazy journey that you've had, what do you think's been the worst part and what do you think's been the best part?
Wow. I mean, the worst part has just been like back to the guilt that I feel like, oh my gosh, like I used to spend so much more time with my kids and now I'm, going to meetings and all this stuff. And that's something that I think every parent deals with is guilt. I don't think we can ever get rid of guilt. I think we just need to work on minimizing. I always compare it to like mascara. Like if you have too much, it's gonna get all clumped up. So just like minimize. So that's what I say about guilt. Just minimize. Just 2 coats. 2 coats of guilt is good. Don't put 35 coats of guilt on.
Yeah.
And the best part has been, you mentioned my past and I was broke and I was depressed and all that. So to now hear from moms who are going through that and tell me that I somehow made them, I could cry. I somehow made them feel less alone or I gave them some kind of hope. It's like, I didn't have that. That's huge for me. I remember sitting in a really big fancy meeting a few months ago and, these people in suits were like, so what's next? Do you want to write a book? Do you want to, you want your own TV show? Like you've grown this following. What do you really want? And without even thinking about it, what came out of my mouth is, I want to be for others what I needed 10 years ago. And then I literally lost it in the meeting. But so that's been the best part, to be able to be for someone what I needed and didn't have at that time. It's like the greatest gift.
You definitely are doing that. I know that for sure. You can see that in the comments on her content. Well, thank you so much for letting us come in today and interrupt your shoot for this shoot. We'll be right back after this with Fast Facts.
We covered a lot in that interview, but here are my top 8 keys to success for the rest of us from my interview with her. Number 1, be yourself and create for yourself. She explained that she was actually a little bit relieved when her show on the Oprah Winfrey Network was canceled because it wasn't truly her. So even if you get a big break, make sure that you stay authentic to who you are, or else you're not going to be able to sustain your momentum. Number 2, create consistently. She was quick to give this advice. Sure, she had pretty fast success because it was only her 4th video that went viral, but the only way to maintain that success was to keep making videos. She said that the huge turning point for her happened when Little Things asked for her to make 4 videos a month. So find a publishing schedule that you can stick with. And then, number 3, be patient. She started like many creators and entrepreneurs in the hours between 5 and 9, 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. She said at 2 a.m. when everyone else in the house was asleep, she was breastfeeding and Googling how to edit videos. In other words, she hustled. And remember, her big break was in 2011, but she didn't have any momentum again until about 2016. And then finally, she found her partnership with Little Things, who completely trust her and let her create whatever kind of content she wants for them. So the wait was worth it. Stay authentic, keep creating, and be patient. Number 4, decide what you want and ask for it. Her arrangement with Little Things is unique in that they both co-own all of her videos. Plus, as I said, she has complete creative control and she has support from their production team. She got that amazing deal because 1, she put in the work. Obviously, she already had viral videos, which is key, you guys. And then number 2, she learned to go in and ask for exactly what she wanted. So don't be afraid to respectfully speak up for yourself and ask for exactly what you want when you get those big opportunities. Number 5, give yourself grace. Of course, Kuzmic and I talked about mom guilt. She understands not only that, but the struggle with perfectionism at home and in her work. So she said there's no balance and you just have to be okay with not being able to spin all of the plates in the air perfectly at all times. Let go of the need to do everything and do everything perfectly. Number 6, make sure your heart is in it. Kuzmic genuinely loves motherhood, which explains how she can create compelling videos that get shared hundreds of times and viewed by millions week after week. Whether you're selling a product or writing articles or creating videos, you have to find something about the topic that really resonates with you, because she says that's the only way you'll know that it'll really resonate with your viewers. Number 7, develop a thick skin. Guys, if you're doing something right, you will get resistance and pushback, because ideas that resonate get shared, and what gets shared gets seen, and what gets seen gets criticized. She laughed and said if she doesn't get criticism, she feels like she's doing something wrong. And I loved her advice to remember that it's not about us. Lastly, number 8, cultivate a connection. She advises that we take advantage of live streaming to really connect with followers in real time. She also says it's important to take a voice of talking with your viewers and readers and listeners and not at them. Everybody wants connection, she said. So make sure you're coming at your content from a voice that says, we're in this together.
Now, I'd love to know, what was your favorite lesson from this interview? Leave a comment, and if you want to learn the juicy behind-the-scenes details like what was she like in person, how did I land this interview, bloopers, and more,
go to thepursuit.tv/Kristina Kuzmic.
We are back with Fast Facts. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Scrabble or charades?
Oh, Scrabble.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Winter or summer?
Summer.
Wine or beer?
Wine.
Pancakes or waffles?
Both.
Guilty pleasure TV show?
Oh my gosh, I haven't watched TV in forever. I don't know. I don't know.
You're not even like streaming Netflix?
I literally have not watched TV. I'm gonna make something up. I don't know. Saved by the Bell. I don't know. I haven't watched TV since Saved by the Bell. When was that? 30 years ago?
Wow. Well, that explains how she gets so much done. What's the last thing you remember Googling?
It was probably something gross, like how to get poop out of carpet or something. I'm almost 100% sure.
What's the wallpaper on your cell phone?
My kids, my 3 kids.
Recent book you read?
Glennon Doyle Melton's Carry On Warrior.
Yeah, she's amazing. Favorite book of all time?
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to go with a childhood favorite. I'm from Croatia. Šeged Hlapić. It's amazing.
I'm gonna try and say that. Who's the last person that called or texted you?
My husband.
Last vacation you took?
Well, it's not a vacation, but it felt like it because they treated me so well. I went to Trinidad for a speaking gig.
I saw that.
But they spoiled me, so I'm gonna say it was a vacation even though it was a work trip.
And hobby?
Baking.
Favorite snack?
Chocolate.
Favorite cereal?
Anything with chocolate.
Favorite music right now?
Ooh. What's that song? I've been feeling it since 1966 now. Bum, 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 but I feel it still. I don't know the song, but I was jamming to it.
We'll look that up.
That was good.
It's not
Portugal something. Portugal something is in the name of the band.
And let's see, where was I? Oh, what's your biggest pet peeve?
People who take themselves too seriously and don't have a sense of humor.
What would your husband say is his biggest pet peeve that you do?
Being way too impulsive.
Really? Yeah. What is a word you're guilty of saying too often?
Does that kind of work?
Yes. What were you doing right before this?
I was shooting a video.
And what will you do right after this?
I will go tuck my 3-year-old for a nap.
And what is your next pursuit? What's next for you? I guess you probably can't tell us.
Well, the one thing I can say is I'm working on a book. So that is
exciting.
terrifying.
I kind of was surprised you didn't have one out already.
Because I've always said no, because A, English is my second language. and B, it just sounds like really overwhelming. And then I finally said, you know what? I may never be asked again, so I might as well say yes.
Awesome. So do you know when that comes out yet?
No, I'm going to be asking for a lot of extra time. It will come out before I'm 90.
Okay, good.
Maybe
good
in like my 80s.
We'll be on the lookout
No,
for the next few years.
In the next year.
Okay,
Yes,
awesome.
yes.
Well, thank you so much. This has been so great. Such a unique perspective and a cool, really cool story, inspiring story. Definitely go watch her content if you're a mompreneur, and then also just if you're a parent or if you want to laugh, because they're really funny.
Thank you.
So I'm Kelsey Humphreys here with Kristina Kuzmic, and this has been The Pursuit.